Welcome to Reality is Undefeated. I'm at Gatewood. Thank you for tuning in. You know, on Good Kid, Mad City, Kendrick has a song called Money Trees. And that song has so many lines that I resonate with. But of all the lines, and I do mean monster lines, there's one that I resonate with more than the rest. Dreams of living life like rappers do. Bump that new E40 after school. You know, big ballin' with the homies. Earl Stevens had us thinking rational. It resonates so much because, if we're being honest, growing up in the hood, a lot of us attached our mindsets to what we heard on wax. And depending on what you were listening to, that kind of determined the path that you were going to go down. And I know that sounds sad, but remember, when I came up, there was no social media. There was no smartphones. Hell, we didn't even have cell phones back then. There was no connecting with people around the world to gain a broader perspective. We had other forms of media that we attached ourselves to. You know, novels, comic books, music, films, etc. That's how you escaped your neighborhood. But while it may have been E4O for K-Dot, it was Nas for me. See, I'm a big fan of Nasir Jones because Nas had me thinking rationally at a point in my life where it was easy for me to fall into the bullshit. Don't get me wrong, I was still in the streets, still with the shits, still in the bullshit. I was in 6th grade when I got my first burglary. Home invasions were persuasive. From 9 to 5, I know it's vacant, ya bish. But it was Nas that put that little bit of sense in the back of my head. Had me aware, had me attentive, had me cerebral in the streets. How did a man over 2,000 miles away do that? He don't know who the fuck I am. How did he play such a major role in my life? See, I know I'm not the only one that never stepped foot in Queens, but feel like I spent 30 summers on the 40 side of Vernon. I can't be. How did a man have me wearing Timbs on the West Coast when it's 110 outside? Easy. He showed me he related to my struggle. Let's get into it, man. You know, if you ask a Nas fan what's the worst album he ever put out, you're more than likely going to get one of two answers. For me, it's that 7-track EP he put out produced by Kanye called Nasir. For others, they'll say more than likely the second release of 1999, an album called Nostradamus, where the Queen's poet made an attempt to be more appealing to mainstream radio. It wasn't well received. He made a number of tracks during that time, Oh Me, Nostradamus, along with QB's finest Uchiwali, as a concerted effort to attract the ears of the masses. But a lot of the ears that were attracted to his previous works didn't like it. People felt like he was chasing the money and jeopardizing the integrity of the art. And that may have been the case, but I love that album. That album is my heart. Because had he not done that, I would not be a Nas fan. And that's important to know because Nas saved me mentally. See, I'm from the West. What I knew as rap was straight gangster shit. Remember, I grew up in a gang-banging, drug-dealing household. When I walked outside those doors, I was met with the same. Dope fiends everywhere. There was a sign in my neighborhood that was supposed to say flood area. All I ever remember it saying was blood area. I came up off the Chronic. My favorite song ever was Ice Cube, Today Is a Good Day. My favorite album, Doggy Style. That's what played in my house more than anything when I was a kid. I still listen to it today. Not necessarily because it's such a great album, and it is, but because of the nostalgia that accompanies it. See, I can't even listen to Lottie Dottie without remembering how my stepdad used to press pause to see if we was cussing. I said, you can't have me, I'm too young for you, bitch. The whole house said bitch, simultaneously. When rap music came on a stereo in my house, it was one of those albums. Along with that Regulate G-Funk era, that East 1999, that Me Against the World, that All Eyes on Me, that Dog Food, that Don Illuminati. Then I got my own radio. Now I'm bumping all that No Limit shit. Talking about True to the Game, Ghetto Dope, Charge It to the Game, See Murder, Life or Death, Mystical, Unpredictable, No Limit, Top Dog, Last Meal, all that shit. I go over Bezel House and Bezel bumping all that Northern Cali shit, that E4O, that Spice One, that Yuck, that Bo, that Lynch, that Rated, that T Nutty Nut. This is the music that my ears enjoyed. Not only has it been played basically as a soundtrack to my life coming up, but now it coincides with the lifestyle that I'm on track to live. Straight gangster. My older brother listened to all that East Coast rap. He listened to that De La Soul and Wu-Tang and A Tribe Called Quest. He listened to all that Dilla and Primo produced stuff. He was a big fan of LL and Big L and Nas as well. When I was 12, I could hear that firm tape being played in this room, that phone tap. But that wasn't the "We No Limit Soldiers, I Thought I Told Ya" that me and my boys was moving to. Yeah, he used to play If I Ruled the World. I liked that joint. But my mind wasn't mature enough to be receptive to what Nas was putting down back then. The only East Coast dudes I listened to before Nostradamus was X and J. See, I had to hear Nostradamus. I had to hear that "shoot 'em up, just shoot 'em up, what?" I had to hear that "quiet niggas a kill, loud niggas talk shit that be the ones that get killed, it's wild where we walk, kid." I had to hear that in order to pay him any attention. But he didn't just go commercial. No, he mixed in that "looking out of my project window, oh, I feel uninspired." And while he seen something much different than what I was seeing in my hood, I felt the same sentiment, uninspired. What he saying that? So many ways out the hood, but no signs say out? He mixed in that life we chose. He mixed in that last words. And that last words is what made me look at him differently. When I heard that man rap as a prison cell, "I'm a prison cell, 6x9, live in hell. No remorse for your tears, I seen them too often. When you cry, I make you feel alive inside a coffin. Watch you when you eat, play with your mind when you sleep, make you dream that you free, then you wake up to me. Face to face with a cage, no matter your age, I could shatter you, turn you to a savage in rage. These are last words of a hanging slave, how can I forget this?" I said, hold up. That man different. That hook was in me. He got to reeling me in. I went back, my brother had IM. I dug into that. Broken glass in the hallway, bloodstained floors, neighbors. Look at every bag you bring through your doors. Lock the top lock. Mama should have cuffed me to the radiator. Why not? It might have saved me later from my block. What? It's a small world. Nigga, you reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. If you sleep, you don't know. I said, damn, he told the fuck out of that story on that. Ghetto prisoners, rise, rise, rise. Ghetto prisoners, get up, wake up, rise. What'd he say on that? Who's to be praised, the mighty dollar or the mighty Allah? But that third verse, my brother had it was written. I went and dug into that. Oh, this the joint that got If I Ruled the World on it. You know what? I used to like the way that sounded when I was younger. Let me see what he actually said on that. I'd open every cell in Attica, send them to Africa. What? Hold up. So you saying if you ruled the world, you free all the brothers and then send them somewhere where they could truly be free? And y'all already know what my what the fuck moment was. I gave you power. When I heard that man rap from the perspective of being a gun in the hood, no, but really rapping the emotions that a gun feels when being used for that purpose, the environment that the gun is in when placed on the shelf, how the other weapons feel. What? Now I'm saying this man is the GOAT. And I hadn't even made it to Illmatic yet. My brother didn't have Illmatic. Truth be told, I heard Stillmatic before I heard Illmatic. And what's crazy is that I was a Jay fan before a Nas fan. And when Jay dissed Nas, I stopped fucking with Jay. I made a diss song to go along with Ether. But that Ether wasn't my favorite track on Stillmatic. No, that was that Second Childhood. That track was so important because it highlighted the lack of growth that people around me had. I started looking at shit that I was normally with as being childish. And this is me at 16 years old. My second favorite track, What Goes Around. Ayo, it's poison. Ecstasy, coke, they said it's love, it is poison. Schools where I learned they should be burned, it is poison. Physicians prescribing us medicine, which is poison. Doctors injecting the infants with the poison. Religion misunderstood is poison. Then he dropped that Lost Tapes. A tape full of tracks that did not make the albums. No ideas original, was nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do but how it's done. What you base your happiness on. Material things in large paper. That means you inferior, not major. Black Zombie. We walking, talking dead, though we think we're living. But we just copycats, following the system. Yo, you believe when they say we ain't shit, we can't grow? Are we as dope dealers and gangsters and hoes? What do we own? Not enough land, not enough homes, not enough banks to give my brothers a loan. What do we own? The skin on our backs. We rent and we ask for reparations, then they hit us with tax. Poppa was a player, player wasn't Poppa. Poppa loved the ladies, never got enough of the pretty brown round, running round town. Shh, don't tell your mother what's going down. Poppa Was A Playa is a track I needed to hear to begin to understand the dynamics of adult relationships. That track allowed me to forgive my father, and we have a great relationship today. Because children don't know why their parents aren't together. They just see one and not the other. And whichever one they see, or both, they look up to as being perfect individuals. Do you understand now why I'm such a huge Nas fan? Because he reached back to me on my level and pulled me up to a level I needed to be at, mentally. So while I understand why his fans were upset at the time because it seemed like he was putting out bullshit, I don't give a fuck why he did it. I appreciate him doing it because it needed to be done to save me. He had to show me he related to my environment. He had to show me he related to my fucked up mindset in order to change my mindset. See, I don't think we truly understand how important relatability is when it comes to content. E40 had Kendrick thinking rationally because when you listen to E40 songs like Zoom, like Seasoned, he shows you that he comes from the absolute bottom and that no matter what your struggle is, he can relate to it. And what's crazy about coming from struggle is how much we hide that shit. How much we act like shit is all right all the time. Because we're afraid that those who don't relate to it will see it and see us as inadequate. Growing up in the hood, and I'm gonna for sure speak on this hood, non-hood shit going on, but when you grow up in the hood, everybody is the same. We share the same struggle, so you don't grow up ashamed of your struggle. You don't care about being on Section 8, having roaches, moms on welfare. We were spending blue bills before the new hundreds. We take that brown dollar, go to the store, buy a bazooka bubblegum, get 95 cents change, real money. We been money laundering. We didn't look at Top Ramen and Bar S hot dogs as struggle meals. That was lunch. We knew how to gourmet that shit. Hot sauce all on my top ramen, ya bitch. We didn't recognize our struggle till we got bused to Michael Callahan Middle School. Sitting on the foothills of Sunrise Mountain. Mansions, one of them said to be Arnold Schwarzenegger's, overlooking it. More mansions literally across the street from the school. Everything overlooking the entire Las Vegas Valley. Yeah, now we know we don't have shit. Now we're afraid to have our teammates' parents drop us off at home because we don't want our teammates knowing that we ain't got shit. I sat across the street from that city bus stop, acting like my mom's was coming to pick me up to avoid all the concerned parents offering me a ride home because I didn't want them to know that we didn't have shit. And when I seen that 209 read across the front of that bus, I quickly went across the street, got on, and went all the way to the back of that shit where it was no windows at for anyone to see I was on it. This is how struggle hampers people. This is why so many people have to have it drilled into them that if you need help, say something. Because when you're afraid to speak about it, no one can do anything for you and you suffer in silence. And when you come across somebody who relates to that, now you can let your guard down. Now you can be yourself. Now you can talk about your struggles. That's why that E40 line resonates so much. Every negative track Nas put out was important for him to put out. It was important for him to say, yeah, I relate to that. Check out this track. Now check out my album. Because he knew that when you checked out that album, he got your ass. Nas, Pac, Kendrick, J, Cole. My top 5 in that order. Because 4 of the 5 bridged that gap. Pac was taken away before he had a chance. But this is why the rappers can reach the kids no one else can reach. This is why they have their headphones on all the time. Because they're listening to someone they feel like relates to them. Subscribe to the channel, man.